Welcome back to the Blood Bear channel. In this video, it's the start of a 4-episode series that I will be doing. It's how I would kind of do a Power Rangers type of video game, specifically like a AAA game. So like like the Spider-Man games or like the Batman Arkham games and stuff like that, which the combat system will be inspired by. I'll be doing 3 episodes mainly. I'm going to do this episode today, which will be kind of what the Rangers appearances will be and some game like customization in the combat system and stuff like that. And Act 1 as well of the story. This will mainly be focusing on the story. And then in the 4th and final video, we will go over all the side content and stuff like that. So like what they're like the side missions, other things that you will unlock that will reward you with. Like in Spider-Man, like how it has the base tokens and stuff like that. That's what we will be discussing in those videos and like what they're used for, or what they can be used for, and then also possible DLC content as well. Right now I don't have any ideas for DLC, but that's like future video, so I might come up with something. But yeah, the story is going to be set in a 3-act structure, pretty much, as well. So, with that, I guess we should just get into who the Rangers are and what I have decided. I decided to go ahead and do like an entirely new Power Rangers team, which I think makes the most sense, instead of using one that's already been like announced. So I just made up my own, and they're based off. Most of them are based off of like law enforcement, and then we have one that's like an emergency responder. And you'll be able to customize them pretty much however you want, which is why I tried to have the names be like for either sex. So boy and girl names. But we'll get to the customization after this. Who I'm going to introduce and describe are going to be who they are if you choose not to customize them. So the first off who we have is Jack Ryder. He is the Red Ranger and he is the leader of the group. He is the Detective Ranger. And he's kind of like your standard jock character, and he's got like the personality of a golden retriever, pretty much. And he has interest in like crime shows and like the especially like around pretty infamous serial killers specifically. And then we have his costume, which so the Red Ranger suit it takes a lot of inspiration from like the classic noir detectives look, with like it's got like the trench coat and then like the Tribbley hat is what I have discovered that it was called. And then he'll have like golden bands around his like arms and his waist and legs to like kind of segment it. His gloves and boots, which are going to be like on all the Rangers, are going to be white, and he has a like the chest like area is red, is going to be black, and then obviously like the suit itself is red. Right, so the trench coat will be red, his helmet will be mostly red with like the visor, and he's got the hat like designed into the helmet. Yeah, and then you'll have like a police badge, right? That's his design. Anyway, I haven't really decided like what their out of Ranger designs will be, so I don't know. I think that's going to be up to customization also. So, well, at least a little bit. Like there will be different face models you can select and whatnot, depending on the sex you've chosen for the Ranger. Anyways, now we're getting to the Blue Ranger, Riley Foster. He is kind of the brains behind the operation, taking kind of that role that Billy has in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He's a bit, scrawnier, a bit skinnier, and he kind of likes to do things by himself, and is reluctant to work with others. And he is the forensic ranger, so he's like the forensic scientist, and his suit kind of is influenced by that. So how his suit like looks is similar to the Red Ranger, who has that like trench coat. He's gonna have like a lab like jacket kind of thing, and and then he has like the silver, like a silver band that goes around there with white gloves, white boots, black along the chest and whatnot. And then obviously around the waist is also another the silver band or like belt. That will also have the symbol of the like police, I guess. And then I decided, because this would be fun, is that the helmet's like visor shape is like shaped like the classic like lab goggles, right? So it kind of goes like that, like it swoops under and then like, because I think that would be fun. So yeah. Alright, and then we have the Green Ranger, which his name is Briar Woods, which I know is funny, right? The Green Ranger, he's a lover of the outdoors. He likes hunting, hiking, fishing, all that stuff. He's like he's like basically like a park ranger type of ranger, I guess, like a Texas Ranger type of thing. Is what his suit is. So he's got like, in his design, he's kind of got like the cowboy hat on in his helmet, and then kind of same design. This time he has like, he doesn't really have like a jacket type thing or like trench coat type thing. Like the rest of them don't. It's only the red and blue that have that. But he's got like he's got his blaster and everything holstered on his waist. He's got the silver bands that go around his forearm right here, and then white gloves, white boots. He's got, for him, he has like the black that kind of like, I wanted it to kind of like come like from here and then down to like the sides of his suit. And then he also has like this, like in the art that you'll see whenever I edit this, he has like that chest plate. I actually really like that, because like the like some like body armor type thing. And then he's also got the badge. I forgot to mention that the Blue Ranger also does have the badge as well, because I think that fits. I think that fits. All right, now we're getting to the Yellow Ranger, which is Morgan Michaels. She is a bit of a tomboy, but with a lot of brothers, so that's probably why. And she is often like the caretaker of said brothers, at least her little brothers, while her parents are away at work. Obviously, I'm thinking almost all of the Rangers will be like, have been like citizens of this city that's gotten taken over. So, like, she doesn't really go to school because, I mean, she's fighting back against the people who took over the city. But, like, before that happened, like, she wasn't really going to school because, and she had to take care of her little brothers because they weren't going to school. Because the city got taken over, she can't go to school, right? So her parents are going to be off working. I haven't decided if they're going to be like part of the government operation that's trying to fight back or not. And then her two older brothers will be away at college, pretty much. So they'll be somewhere else in the country. All right. The Yellow Ranger suit is pretty much the same as everybody else's. This is basically just based off of like a normal police officer, like a, you know, and they got same thing, silver bands on the wrists, legs, and around the waist, right? Black along the sides like the Green Ranger, and you know, we'll still have that badge. And I decided that the helmet is going to look like kind of like the front of like a police car, because I think that makes sense. So, not where it like sticks out or anything, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. All right, last Ranger so far that I've come up with. We'll introduce there will be a sixth Ranger. You'll be able to customize what that Ranger looks like in like basically the game starts and then you're immediately customizing. There's not going to be anything before that, so like you're immediately customizing, and then the game will start. Pretty much is how that's going to work. Anyways, the Pink Ranger, you know, she's a very caring person, enjoys helping others, often volunteers to help the survivors from the city, and is not very keen on violence, so that's going to have to probably change soon. But yeah, she's basically like the healer of the group, and that'll be like her special abilities and whatnot. Anyways, her suit is more like, it's basically the same as like the Yellow Ranger and the Green Ranger, or at least more similar to them. Same silver bands, wrists, like arms, waist, and whatnot. White gloves and boots. Got black along the sides. She does actually have a jacket though as well. She has a EMS jacket, which will be part of the suit, and then same as everybody else, also got the police badge, which I know isn't typical from emergency responders. They have like their own different I don't know, like badge, I guess. And then her helmet is going to look like the front of like an ambulance, pretty much. All right, that's all the Rangers that we are discussing in this video. So now we will get to the customization section of this. So the customization is for the Power Rangers, pretty much only. Like I said, there will be a sixth one. You will customize them here as well, in the beginning. So the screen will come up, and then you'll go through each Ranger. You'll pick what sex you want them to be. There will be a selection of like face models that you can also choose from. And you will be able to choose their, obviously, race, sex, and all different hairstyles, like hair color, eye color choices, and so on and so forth. You'll also be able to choose what the Ranger's color is. So, like you can choose for them to be, like they all have to be different colors, but you can choose which color they are. So to be completely honest, you don't have to have a red Ranger at all, pretty much. Although I think most people will have one, but you can choose between red, blue, green, yellow, pink, black, purple, orange, white, and so on and so forth. They will also, all these colors will also then be on a color like slider, is what I'm thinking. So like you'll be able to, so like the blue can be like not like a darker blue, but like a sky like blue color, like a teal color or something like that. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the customization. The Zords will be the same color that you chose for the Ranger. And that's pretty much it. For the combat system, this is where things get a little different. So the main combat system is probably going to be, like, especially whenever like you're fighting minions and stuff, it's going to be a lot like the Batman Arkham games, or like the Spider-Man games on the PS4. Very similar to those. And I was thinking having the like Rangers, because they got their blasters, right? So I was thinking having those act similarly to the Batarangs from the Batman games. So like they will stun enemies basically. And then, you know, I was thinking their sabers will be part of like a special thing. I don't know. I haven't thought about this in depth, really, like the combat system, because I know sometimes in Power Rangers they all have like their own unique special weapon. So I was thinking maybe we give them one of those types of situations. But then again, they're based off of like police officers, so would they really have a special weapon when they all have like the same kit kind of thing? I'm not entirely sure. So I would have to think on that a little bit more. But like if they do all have their special weapon, they'll then have a chargeable ability that they'll be able to use that will do something unique, pretty much. I know that, well, we'll get into that probably later. That'll probably be something that's discussed in episode 2. Alright, yeah, anyways, then we get to like the Megazord battles, because we can't not have those. So I said Megazord / boss battles, they will be pretty different. They're going to be more like a Dark Souls type of fight. Each boss is going to be based off of a infamous serial killer, and then each one is basically in charge of a different section of the city that represents them and that killer, and you know how they killed people. One example that I have come up with, I haven't decided on all of them yet. The rest will be in episode 2 probably for most of them. And then episode 3 will cover, will probably be a shorter video, because that's going to be like the last few missions of the game. But so yeah, episode 3 will cover like the top bad guy. So yeah, there are 10. So there will be 11 boss fights kind of in total. I'm thinking also for side content, some of those side missions might end in a boss fight as well. So there might be optional boss fights, pretty much. So, anyways, as an example for one of these boss fights that I have kind of come up with, one of them is going to be based off of the serial killer H.H. Holmes, and the boss fight will be like kind of like in his like murder mansion, which he will be able to control at will. So you'll have to look out for his cues to see, like, be like there's like a spike coming from the left, so you have to dodge roll to the right or something like that. And then also another thing with each of these boss fights, you are going to be a single ranger fighting the main enemy, which I understand is not how Power Rangers really works, but the other ones are going to be. But I think that works better for gameplay reasons. So the other Rangers will be back, kind of fighting off the like minions of the main, like the boss that you will be fighting. I am stumbling over my words today. It is not good. Anyways, So you'll have that phase, and then after that phase is done, there will be the Megazord phase, which will basically be the same thing, but on a larger scale. So instead of like a murder mansion, he will basically have a murder that section of the city, and be able to do stuff with that. So that'll be fun, I think. Hopefully. Anyways, that's pretty much all of I've planned for that. So we're going to jump to Act 1. Act 1 is pretty short, and Act 3 is also going to be pretty short. So Act 2 is going to take up the most of the story there. So, and this is all story beats. I'm not going to talk about like how it, game wise how it looks or anything like that. This is all just like what the main plot of the story will be. So we open on an initial cutscene with the invasion happening as a slightly younger Jak. I think that they can probably whoever, like, they could probably look about the same age from thing, because it's like there will be like a 2-year time skip basically. So they're driving back from like a vacation as like they look out the car window and see this giant ship coming down on the city. And then like, yeah, the scene ends with like the ship kind of staying in the air, and then like I guess tendrils would kind of be what it is, reach to the edge of the city. Jak is caught inside said city. So also I forgot to mention this. So Jak is a male name. So the female version would be like Jacqueline, and then Jak would be like a nickname for said woman. Anyways, yeah. So then he then gets separated from his family. We're also doing this as if it were not you decided to not change anything. So yeah, so he gets separated from his family, and then we cut 2 years later, where Jak is in one of the 10 sectors, and he is in a labor camp of some sort. I haven't decided of what. I was thinking maybe mining of some sort, but I don't think that makes much sense for who is going to be the bad guy of this place. So I don't know. He's in some sort of labor camp, or some sort of prison, where he's forced to do labor, So yeah, this, like, you'll have control here as well. And like, I guess the main mission is you're going around talking to some of the other prisoners. And this will then introduce that you are planning an escape plan with the people you are talking about, and they'll be like, yeah, I know, I gotta do such and such and such, and that's what they'll be doing. And then you go through the mission, and you escape, but Jak is the only character that is able to escape the city. And so the city is called Cage City. I don't know what it would have been called before this happened, but this is what is currently being called, as Cage City. And I don't know and the working title, not that I don't know what the title is going to be, but the working title is Power Rangers Cage City. Because, that's on the nose, but I don't know what else you would call it. Anyways, the rest of like the U.S., because this is where it takes place, has been monitoring the city, and are able to pick up Jak basically as soon as he escapes. He is then questioned. Like, this is all like in a cutscene. He's then questioned by the army until the head scientist, that's been developing the Power Ranger suits and stuff like that to fight back against this alien invasion, comes in and introduces himself as Dr. Ripley, and tells the general that was questioning Jak that he wants to test Jak for like compatibility with the Red Ranger suit, basically. Because, and the reason for this will be because Jack has been inside Cage City. He knows things about Cage City that we do not know what's been going on in there. So if he is suitable, not only he will be useful, but if he's also suitable for the Red Ranger power, then he will also then be able to give us familiarity with the lay of the land, pretty much, and how things work in that city, which will be useful information. So yeah, they go through and do all that, and then he gets tested, and he is able to wield the power. And then so we will then do a tutorial for each ranger, which, I mean, the fight tutorials wouldn't be basically the same, but they slightly different, like probably animation for their how they fight. All very similar, but they will have their unique things. Like, I'm thinking of having them also have different, like, abilities that help them traverse as well. So, but I'm not sure how that's really going to work. But yeah, that'll be all in the tutorial, so you can learn what each character can do that's unique to them, and, you know, the basic combat system as well. And there will be a stealth tutorial and all that jazz. So, this then leads into the first mission, the first, like, real mission of the game, I guess, with, so some of the, like, minion characters, who I'm calling the Slayer minions, is what I'm going to be calling them from now on. They're attacking a nearby town, trying to basically kidnap people to replace Jack, who escaped, and his friends who were killed, but Jack doesn't know that they were killed yet. And then you'll go and you'll fight, basically, and then once you complete the mission, win the battle, then they're like, okay, this can work. We have finally defeated some of these people, these minions. Which, I mean, I think that they will be able to defeat them, but, like, it's going to be very costly to defeat even the Slayer minions, basically. Like, people aren't really able to fight back. So, like, basically, like, almost everywhere around Cage City is basically, like, barren wasteland because of how hard it is for them to fight back against these aliens until the Power Rangers arrive, obviously. So then they get back to their base of operations, and they start planning their way back into the city and how they're going to set up some sort of foothold in the city where they can base their operations of trying to liberate everyone there. So then Jack, as he had escaped the prison, he wants to go back, help his friends that helped them escape, and you go ahead and use that as probably the base of operations while they're there. So then the next mission will be that, basically sneaking back into the city. Specifically sneaking. This will be a stealth mission where if you are caught, you will fail. Though, don't get caught, pretty much. So yeah, then they get into the city afterwards, right? And then they attack the prison. Liberate said prison. That's the mission, right? So do that. And then afterwards, that kind of sets up it doesn't really set up a base, but, all those people are free. And then the Rangers then go on individual missions specifically. And we will start with the Pink Ranger. So she's investigating a nearby hospital where she discovers patient files that seemed, files of patients that seem to die under fairly strange circumstances, or at least, like, the files contain contradictions to how they were claimed to have died, what they were claimed to have died from, pretty much. And she also deals with some of the Slayer minions that are in that hospital. And then by the end of the mission, that hospital will kind of be set up there to help treat human patients. And then the Green Ranger will be the next mission, and all the Briar is going to be doing is going to basically taking over the entrance so that we can get military personnel inside the city. Okay, and then the Blue Ranger, Riley, is going to take, because the Pink Ranger, like, his mission will start with conversation with the Pink Ranger, saying, "Hey, there are these patient files. I found these patient files in the hospital that said that they died of such and such causes, but the symptoms look like this, not that." So then he will be going to test, so she'll give him like a blood sample or something that's still of like probably the most recent patient, and then he'll take that and get that analyzed and compare it to the blood sample and see if that's how those people died. And this will be a stealth mission where he will go into a crime lab to analyze said substance, and learn that they were killed by the substance that the Pink Ranger Taylor suggested, and not how they were actually said to have died. Alright, and then the Yellow Ranger, Morgan, is basically just going to be raiding a police station to get weapons. And that's basically it. So then this will be the final mission of Act 1. After what Morgan does, they'll come back to their base of operations there at the prison, and like they're all discussing what they've found and what they've done, pretty much. And then through this information that they're telling, Jack comes to the conclusion it's like this because he knows that the main guys represent serial killers. He knows that. So he knows that this area represents the infamous killer, Dr. Death. And so then that will lead to the final fight. They will fight Dr. Death, and then I think we'll have probably I think the final fight will be with the Pink Ranger against Dr. Death, because I think that feels more fitting. So yeah. And then it'll end with the Megazord fight, and then Sector 10 will be set free, basically, and become a human bastion where you'll be able to use stuff to buy things, I think. I think there will be some sort of market system, or at least some sort of thing where you will be able to have the materials that you've gathered and whatnot to then go and buy cosmetics, upgrades, and stuff like that. But that's going to conclude Act 1, which I know is very short, but it's basically just the introduction to the game and the story. So, and then Act 2 will be fighting the other 9 leaders of the sectors, and then Act 3 will be going up against the main bad guy. But we will discuss that in more detail in the next episode. So that's going to be all for this episode. If you liked the video, please do leave a like and subscribe, as that will help me quite a bit. But with that said, I will see you all in the next one. So, bye-bye.